This is part 3 of a 3-part series on the breakdown of VeChain. Part 1, we covered pattern. Part 2, we covered price and how we really pegged that low 5 months ago. Talk about seeing the future with high probability. But today we're going to focus on where is the likely price action going to go based on human psychology. If you can know these, really is a secret because most people don't know it, but it can give you a massive edge to plan ahead of time. So it's part 3. Make sure you watch part 1 and part 2. So if you like today's content, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. If you don't know me, my name is Jiggy. I'm the award-winning author of The Extraordinary New Venture Capital Opportunity, How to Invest Like a Pro. Been featured in the best-selling book, High Probability Trading Strategies, back in 2008. Where I only used to focus on currencies, but now exclusive on crypto. So let's dive straight in. All right, so this analysis we did on VeChain on YouTube was on the 12th of October. And what we said was, and we pegged it just perfectly. You know, we got a nice macro movement of a wave 1, an A, and what looks like a B and a C of a wave 2. And it unfolded perfectly. And this part here is what we did with part 1 and part 2 of this series, with Fibonacci ratios, with pattern. But what we're going to focus on today is this part here, which we actually projected in advance 5 months ago. How crazy is that? 5 months ago. But now this part is happening. This part is happening. So now we go, okay, now we need to take it more seriously to go. Before it was just really forecasting way in advance. But now we're going to go, okay, what's it looking like literally right now? And we're going to talk about a lot of stuff today. Fibonacci, Elliott wave patterns. If you're brand new to it, take my free Elliott wave Fibonacci masterclass. Is in the link below, because everything is difficult before it's easy. It's like driving a car, and you want to know the 3 key rules of Elliott wave for this to make sense, and I cover that in the masterclass in itself. So what we're going to focus on here now. So we did all this in part 1, part 2, very fast summary. Wave 1, an A, B, C of a wave 2. This breaks down to 5, so we had 3 degrees of Elliott wave count. Again, a breakdown part 1, part 2, and is in the masterclass, just the method behind the madness. And then we did Fibonacci ratios. These numbers are not just random lines. These lines are not just random. They're literally relationships. These waves that have with each other, they have a relationship with each other. And it measures the human psychology of fear and greed, the psychological mood of how all the participants as a whole are feeling about VeChain. And that has been reflected in the price. And now we've had this upward surge. It's been the biggest movement to the upside during this whole sequence to the downside. This is what you refer to as an overbalance of price on the upside. We'll probably see a correction, but what I'm anticipating now, we've got no reason to believe otherwise that this is just going to follow, because we've been following textbook anyway in Fibonacci, is that we're going to see all-time new highs. All-time new highs. But what is the likely price action? What's the price to get? Where's it going to go to? I know that's what you're probably thinking if you're into VeChain. Well, definitely, if it takes off, if it is a wave 3, it should as a minimum go over wave 1. But there's particular ratios I'm going to show you today. And if you can understand this, it can really help you plan your profit-taking objectives, your key ratios, your risk management, and everything else. And by the way, if you haven't already, take my free Elliott wave Fibonacci masterclass. It's in the link below. You click the link, and it'll take you to this page. Free Elliott wave Fibonacci masterclass. Click, bang, instant access, and I'll teach you pretty much everything that I know, that I've learned over 15 years. 10, 15 years on Forex, and really the last 5 years with crypto. And crypto probably applies the best to Elliott wave, or Elliott wave applies the best to crypto, because it's more highly speculative. The emotions are more raw onto the surface, and therefore the patterns identify themselves clearer. So what we're going to do, keep it really simple. There's a key ratio, key measurement, a relationship with wave 1 and wave 3. It's almost like the first impulsive move of a trend, which is this, and the second, the impulsive move to a trend, have a direct relationship and is identifiable in advance. The typical ratios, the most common ratios, and there's 2. And if you know these 2 and you know how to apply it, we're using a software called TradingView. If you know how to apply it, it gives you a massive edge. So the tool is called Trend-Based Fib Extension. You can also get it on the left-hand side over here, Trend-Based Fib Extension. And what we're going to do is we're going to measure the wave, and this low down here, the beginning of a wave 1. Again, I cover this in a slower step-by-step fashion in the masterclass on how to do wave 3s and wave 2s and kind of work it all out. Measure the wave 1, so we're going to click the top of this wave 1 and then project it forward from what looks like, hasn't been confirmed yet, but what looks like a wave 2 low. And the key ratios that we want, note these down. This is the golden mean. The 1.618 ratio is one of the key, most powerful Fibonacci ratios. But the overextension is if it hits the typical, a lot of the time, especially in crypto, it will overextend because there's panic buying, there's FOMO, and there's just this is euphoria in the market. So the next one is 2.618. So then the key ratio that you want to be aware of when it comes to VeChain for a potential wave 3. So we've got a wave 1, a wave 2, and what looks like a wave 3 is 1.618 is 44 cents. So from today's price, that's what, 6 times multiple. And then on the 2.618 overextension is almost 70 cents. So that's like a 10x, right? But I would anticipate that we're probably going to get a bit of a correction before it really takes off. But again, we're talking about weeks and months over here, not overnight. But these are the two key ratios. And then the last thing I want to finish up on is with a wave 3, if it does unfold, it will typically unfold in some type of 5-wave sequence. 5-wave sequence, and I just want to change. Can I change this? I will leave it like that. There you go. It'll be a 5-wave sequence. And why I bring this up is if it does unfold and we see a 5-wave sequence hitting this range and this zone over here, then all of a sudden we have valuable information, very valuable information. We can combine a few other things. Let's just do it like this. Let me just adjust it slightly. It doesn't matter too much. What we can do is some valuable extra analysis. We can do a measurement of these waves and then really fine tune where's the end or the high probability end of a wave 5 of a wave 3. But that hasn't occurred yet. We're literally at this beginning zone here. But the main lesson for today is this is the typical range of a wave 3 measured from a wave 1. Hopefully that makes perfect sense to you. If you want to learn more about Elliott Wave, I highly encourage you to take my free Elliott Wave Fibonacci Masterclass. I cover end of wave 5s, end of wave 3s. We cover the 3 secret rules. I say secret, just most people don't know them, right? So if most people don't know something, it's kind of a secret. So it's a secret, but this is what Ralph Nelson Elliott figured out back in the 1800s, 1900s. The 3 key rules that you must know to apply Elliott Wave and then combine the Fibonacci ratios. And there's a very powerful combination of the two. Click the link and you'll get immediate access. Show me how. Pop in your details and boom. And you'll get an opportunity to buy some of my courses. You get an invite to my private Telegram group if you purchase one of my courses. And then we do weekend workshops so you get more direct access to myself. So there you have it. This was the 3rd part of a 3-part series of VeChain. We're breaking it down, how we really pegged that, what looks like to be the early stages of an end of a wave 5 of a C of a 2, that zone. And then we've also projected in advance now. So we did pattern, we did price, and then we projected in advance based on Elliott Wave pattern, which is wave 3, and price, 1.618 and 2.618, where it's likely to go. And the whole idea is that it's probabilities, never certainties, and it gives you valuable information and a bit of foresight so you can see what's likely to occur and then plan accordingly. And if it does take off, you should have your profit targets. If it doesn't take off, then you can also have your backup plan as well. Yeah, so that's what you want to always be doing. All right, let's finish on a quote. I was going to do one from my book, but today I'm going to do one from when I was 23 years old. It's one of my favorite quotes. I think it was Churchill. If you want to experience the ocean, you must first build the courage to leave shore. If you want to experience the ocean I refer to, anything can be the ocean, but the ocean is like the banquet of life. Financial health to a degree that makes a significant difference to you. But you gotta put the work in. You gotta, buy your first crypto. You gotta, play with the market. You gotta learn Elliott Wave and Fibonacci. So if you want to experience life, the ocean, to a whole new level, you have to first build the courage to leave shore. And leave shore just means taking action. Get your toe in the water, your foot in the water, and then jump the way in. And beneath every success is a mountain of necessary failure. And failure, I read this acronym recently, FAIL, F, first, A, attempt, I, in, L, learning. First attempt in learning is fail. So fail is not really failure, it's actually learning. and Rome weren't built in a day. It's 1% at a time, and literally knowing that you cannot succeed without getting it wrong. And everything is difficult before it's easy. Look at me just reaming off the quotes. I'm a big fan of quotes, but not just the words of the quotes, because words are just words, and anyone can regurgitate a bunch of words, right? What was really, really profound for me is the impact and the meaning, and where does that quote come from, and what does it really mean, and is it actionable, and is it practical, and can we apply it? So if you want to experience the ocean, you first need to build the courage to leave shore. It's like, what's holding you back? You should be practicing. Don't leave it to chance. Stack the odds in your favor by training, and the probability of you winning in this game of crypto tennis just goes exponentially higher. All right, I'll see you soon. Hopefully you enjoyed the 3-part series. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you want me to do more series like this, because we covered pattern, we broke down the Fibonacci price for a wave 2, and then part 3 was really projecting in the future, but really seeing that this is practical, is objective, and it's non-emotional. All right, see you soon.